In this question, there are 2 points, and then P is a moving point on the plane such that from P to A is equal distance from P to B. So if you have those kind of practice before, then you know that we are talking about perpendicular bisector. So we have a point 57. And also we have a point 13.1. Draw the approximate position. And then P, for point P, one of the possible point is the midpoint between A and B, or somewhere here. So the red line is the locus of P, such that no matter where is P on this line, we can ensure that from P to B had the same distance from P to A. So we are finding the perpendicular bisector of AB, then it is the locus of P. But however, if you don't realize that, it's totally fine. Just make sure you write down A 57, B 13.1, and then you remember that you have to use a general point to express P, which is XY. The condition here, such that after that they will give you a condition. P is equal distance from A and B. That means PA is equal to PB. You start from this constraint. So for L, PA is equal to PB, which means that we compare the distance. So we use distance formula. P compared with A. So we have x minus 5 squared plus y minus 7 squared is equal to x minus 13 squared plus y minus 1 bracket squared. It's not horrible, but this square root is unnecessary because you can both sides take square. So we have x minus 5 squared plus y minus 7 squared. Then after that, you may need to expand it very carefully. Again, there are something that can be cancelled out, which is x squared and x squared. So cancel out. Also y squared. So now we only have 4 terms on each side. Then we simplify first before further calculation. Minus 10x minus 14y, and then we add 2 numbers together. After that, we group everything to one side to form an equation of straight line. I mean a general form. So negative 10x plus 26, we get 16x. And then we have minus 12y. And then we have minus 96 equal to 0. But don't forget that for the general form, if you find that all 3 terms are divisible by some common factor, you have to simplify it. So 16 and 12 and 96 both divisible by 4. So we divide both sides by 4. To make us smaller values. That's the answer for part A. But however, if you notice that this is talking about the perpendicular bisector, then you may use another approach. We get the midpoint of AB, which is the average of x coordinate, the average of y coordinates. After that, we also want to know the slope of AB. After that, since we know that AB is perpendicular to our locus L, that's why slope AB times slope L should equal to -1. We are going to rely on this, and what we really interested is the slope of our locus L. So we get 4/3, which is consistent with the drawing because it should be going up. Finally, to write down equation of L, slope is equal to slope. Don't forget the constraint for straight line. In terms of xy, compare with this point, we have 9, 4 here. So y minus 4 over x minus 9 should equal to the slope we already found is 4/3. We tidy up, and then it depends on what you like. Maybe you can use slope intercept form or general form, both are fine. So we get this equation. In part B, they say that this line, the red line, intersect x-axis and y-axis and h and k. So if I use this graph, that means h is somewhere here. We know it is x-intercept, that's why the y-coordinate is fixed to be 0. And k is, if we extend the line, k is somewhere here. The coordinate is 0 something. The origin by O, so the origin O here. C be a circle passing through O, H, and K. Someone claimed that the circumference of C exceeds 30. To know whether it is correct, we have to draw the circle which fulfills the requirement. A circle passes through these 3 points. Then the circle is fixed. One thing very important is you should realize this is right angle, which means that by the converse of angle in semicircle, that circle HK is diameter. Because this is 90 degrees, so we know that OHK form a semicircle, which means that for the circle C pass through these 3 points, the center is the midpoint of HK. So it gives us some idea how can we find out the circumference. Circumference, that means diameter times pi, so we can get diameter directly, which is HK. But before we use the distance formula, we need to know the x-intercept and also the y-intercept. So consider at point H, we know that y is equal to 0. So 4x minus 24 equals 0. We get x equal to 6. So therefore H is 6, 0. And at point K, we know that x coordinate is 0. So 0 minus 3y minus 24 is equal to 0. Y is equal to -8. So K is 0, -8. After we get 2 coordinates, we are going to find out the diameter of C, which means this is HK. By the distance formula, you may realize that directly this distance is 6 while this distance is 8. So 3 to 4 to 5, this is 10. Or you may get it directly from the equations. So now the circumference is equal to pi 2 pi r, that means diameter times pi. 10 times pi, we get 31.4 something, which is larger than 30. Then go back to the question, is this claim correct? It's fulfilled the requirement, so this claim is correct.